rock and roll baby. 자르줄 맞아 욕하는 새끼들 제발 조절로 비켜 실적을 바꾸지 않는 새끼가 너무나 많아서 이런 병신을 병신 불러서 나에게 다 be just like Jesus 집에서 놀다가 욕먹기 싫어서 피셔봐가는 난 이런.
Yeah.
Don't say it like. Don't start off like that
I'm
though.
not gonna do it
That's
ever
nasty.
Again. I gotta file a complaint.
That's already nasty.
Call HR.
Welcome to episode 4 of the Rapcast, everyone.
Rapcast.
I am Andrew, aka Young Jizz, aka Bluebeard. To my right is
the man, the boy, the god,
Alex, aka
the
Buddy
killer.
Alex, and behind us is Josh, aka J Pasty, aka PJ Martian. Not a night one this time. Middle of the day. We're on different vibes now.
Yeah, last episode was I was a little loopy.
And I was a
late at
little
night.
high. So
But nowadays we're bringing at you some late afternoon vibes. Haven't eaten dinner yet, so
we might start getting just angry and have many arguments towards the end of this if it comes down to it.
I'm fucking pissed off.
And we had to
rap.
cut the first part because his mom called. So, are you pissed off about the XXL Freshman List like everyone else is, or what?
Yeah. XXL. Let's get pissed off about it. It's a magazine.
I'm here.
Yeah. So every year we rehash the same discussion about XXL Freshman List.
Who's hot?
And the other conversation is XXL. What even is that? A magazine?
Does it matter? Who's reading magazines?
Who reads magazines?
Yeah.
What is this mysterious magazine? And how does it still exist in the age of social,
Like they call it
media
XXL
shit.
magazine, like Freshman List or whatever, but do they actually publish magazines with the cover? I've never seen one in public in my entire life.
I assume that it's just a thing for like mostly industry people that like I don't know, but I don't really understand the world of journalism, music journalism, and how what their influence is on the world. But somehow the XXL Freshman List has remained a thing that a magazine does that matters still in 2020.
Yeah, people still give a shit about it.
But mainly I think just because the sake of content and everyone loves a top 10 list.
Yeah. I think it's been going on for like...
Or it's not a top 10 list, but it's just...
Who's hot
12,
right now.
12 of the hottest rappers that are so-called...
Who's going to be the up-and-coming generation.
Yeah, this class of rappers. So, yeah, they put the list out recently. Let's get into it.
Just looking through it, probably my least like I'm interested class, like... Because usually there's at least like one or two rappers in each class where I kind of like or I, enjoy them. But this list is not necessarily for me. But let's go through it. Polo G, Chica, NLE Choppa, Jack Harlow, who we've talked about here, Little Keed, Little TJ, who's my go-to make fun of just new age rapper name.
Yeah.
5EO Foreign, I hope I'm saying that right. Cowboy, Rod Wave, Baby Keem, 24K Golden, and Mulatto. I think I've only heard of like a few of these people, honestly.
Yeah, this was really when I looked at it, it was I'm old. Like,
yeah. Even last year I kept up and I pretty much knew most of the people on here, but here I'm kind of shocked. I've heard of Polo G, I know NLE Choppa, I know Jack Harlow. I know Little Keed. I think 5EO Foreign was on like a Drake track recently.
Yeah.
Baby Keem is Kendrick Lamar's cousin, so he's on there for sure. I've never heard of Chica or Mulatto. Like, yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, well, yeah. So when I read the list, I did a little bit of research just to get some basic idea of who these rappers are. Right. And yeah, Polo G, NLE Choppa, Jack Harlow. Mm-hmm. Those are ones that I've heard of.
Yeah.
I know their songs, and yeah, I think they pretty much deserve it. I mean,
sure.
Polo G is actually kind of fire. I listened to 3 tracks of his. The one that's like a Tupac sample of his song, "That's Just the Way It Is," or whatever. I can't remember. The song "Changes" by Tupac, which I really liked. And the song "Pop Out" with Lil TJ, that was one of those songs that I think it's one of those TikTok music, but I actually liked it. So a little hypocritical of me, maybe, to say that. But
that says a lot right there.
But it was on the radio a lot, and it got in there, it got in my brain, and I like it now. So Polo G,
sure, okay,
shout out, he's good. Yeah, NLE Choppa.
I've heard some good things, good features.
I just like his energy.
Yeah.
I watched the freestyle that he had for the XXL.
Right,
thing.
I haven't seen any of them, so.
Yeah, his was pretty good. I mean, it's kind of a new thing how these rappers have to do freestyles, but they're kind of from the new age where
that's not really.
It's more about the flow and like.
It's more about how you ride on the beat more so than just because the freestyles are not on an instrumental, right? It's just.
No instrumental. So you have to just create your own little mini song, basically.
And a lot of these rappers aren't. That's not their style. They're more. Yeah, it's more about the flow on a beat, how they ride it.
But I thought the way NLE Choppa adapted his style to fit that was actually pretty good. And yeah, so I think he's definitely one of these rappers that will. I don't think he'll just disappear like some rappers on past.
Yeah. He's one of the more mainstays. Same with probably Jack Harlow, I want to say. But some of these people I've never heard, like Cowboy, Rodwave, Mulatto. 24K Golden. I don't know if they'll stay or not. I don't, just because I don't know shit about them, so I don't know if they're talented or really like. I don't know.
Yeah, Lil Keed was. I listened to one of his songs, and everyone compares him to Young Thug, and apparently he's just like
a Young Thug clone.
A Young Thug clone, and yeah, I listened to his one song, and it was called, I can't remember. It was like an R&B kind of song. It was. I just went to their Wikipedia and it said their most well-known song is this, and watched that one, and really terrible. Like,
wow.
Just his singing is just so bad, and it's like it's like a bad Young Thug impression.
Yeah.
Like Young Thug minus all the originality and talent.
Fuck.
So I don't know about that. I don't know, but people said the same thing about Gunna last year being who was on the freshman list last year in 2019.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he was the one that I was surprised about because like I thought he was too big to make it. Like there's some artists that are too big or they'll turn it down because they don't think they need it kind of thing. So I didn't think Gunna would make it. Little Baby didn't make it, did he? I don't think he did. Or I think he like turned it down.
No, yeah, Lil Baby was on it last year. Or no, Da Baby was on it last year.
Last year was a pretty okay year overall. YBN 4 days on there, Rico Nasty.
Yeah, Blueface.
Yeah, Blueface, but he's one of the
Yeah, no, Blueface kind of trash. But yeah, that bringing that up is interesting because I believe it was 2018 when there was sort of a backlash against XL, and it was hashtag fuck XXL all over the place, because I believe it was the rapper Lil Skies who refused to be on the list because it's all rigged and it's all
I
media.
mean, yeah, that's kind of a given though.
And then they replaced him with Rich the Kid, who also refused to be on to show up for any of the XXL stuff.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So that was like a bit of a moment, but I feel like overall the power of that statement was not enough to do anything to the institution that is the XXL Freshman List, and it'll continue to be something that people put stock in. I mean, it's similar to in all of entertainment industry. The accolades are just things that the industry does to give people some recognition, but the real what are the best movies, music, everything, that's something that it goes more beyond like top 10 lists and year end kind of things. So we always kind of circle back to that point overall.
It's more of just a stamp of approval, or not a stamp of approval, but just like a checkpoint. Okay, you did this, now it's time to fucking go switch gears. You have to, you have this XXL, you got this placement, you gotta fucking put out music like right away, put out an album within the year, or else you're deemed irrelevant kind of thing. Like you have to
in a way it's
ride
kind of,
off the wave.
That's what's kind of interesting
placement
about it, how it's both seen as a ticket to mainstream success, possibly, but at the same time, if you
fuck it up, you'll never hear the end of it.
Exactly. And people will be clowning on you
Yeah.
for years. I mean, and
Fucking
It's-
Trinidad James or whatever got on there. It's just so many. There's
it's
every year has
interesting-
like one rapper that just completely just
like going
falls
back
off.
10 years, like
Yeah.
the freshman list been going on since 2007.
Damn.
2010 class, you have J. Cole, Nipsey Hussle, Freddie Gibbs, Big Sean, Wiz Khalifa, like huge names.
Yeah.
But then here's the other names. Pill.
Oh yeah. Him.
You know, the rapper Pill.
Yeah, of course.
He popped off before
Popped off. I get it.
before the opioid crisis.
Uh-oh. What's that?
Oh,
Train break? The music down, shit be louder than my loud. You better shut your mouth or suck me off. Please don't call the cops, I'm a boss. You are lost, I got the sauce, you know it's hot. Call me Sean Evans. Only time you fuck is your 72 virgins in heaven, bitch. Beautiful day out here in undisclosed location.
undisclosed location.
Any other rappers?
OJ the Juice Man.
I've heard of him.
Fashawn
No.
Donis. Yeah. Well, J-Rock was also in the
Oh,
2010.
cool.
So, yeah, going back into these past lists, some of them ended up becoming huge, like
Yeah.
genre-defining artists, like
Yeah.
J. Cole. You know, and just looking at 2011, you had Kendrick Lamar in there. 2012,
Yeah.
These
Mac
are a lot
Miller
of
was
the-
on there.
but it's also because the fact that we happened to kind of get into rap music about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So these rappers are huge to us now because they were, you know, they influenced the world of hip hop that we
Yeah.
really like.
And it's been
consumed.
10 years. We can actually see now in this time, like, their impact instead of just waiting a year trying to figure out if they fell off or not. Well, they could make a comeback at some point. Like any of these rappers could make a comeback
Yeah.
that have seemed to have fallen off, but
Just looking at the list from the last couple of years of like ones who really kind of disappeared, like, you know, some of these lists are. I mean, 2016 is a perfect list.
2016 was like the peak.
Lil Uzi Vert, Lil Yachty, Kodak Black, Denzel
Yeah.
Curry, G Herbo, Dave East, Lil Dicky,
Anderson
Anderson
.Paak.
.Paak, Designer, 21 Savage.
That's there's no doubt on that.
None of them fell off.
And that cipher,
They all got bigger and more popular.
that cipher with Yachty and Uzi and Denzel, that's like the best cipher of
Yeah,
the
that's
entire
the
thing.
whole
It's
year-
so classic.
the whole
like,
year in a
it's
nutshell
so funny. Like,
is just to watch that freestyle and you'll
Yeah.
understand like
exactly.
everything about why, and that really came as a discussion point amongst the different generations of hip hop fans.
Yeah.
Because the video came out for the freestyle, and including my older brother who showed it to me, like, man, can you believe these rappers these days? They're complete shit. What the fuck happened to rap music, man?
Yeah.
I remember when, you know, whatever, Nas, Biggie,
Yeah.
all this stuff.
Sure.
And I was on the opposite side of that discourse totally. I was like, just watch the video. They're having so much fun out
I
there.
know.
And they're just, it is truly off the top freestyling.
Yeah.
Where I feel like, in a way, there's from the older generation of hip hop fans is used to like actually written out freestyles, but they're
Yeah.
meant to be seen as just off the dome.
Yeah.
Whereas this new generations are like, okay, we can all tell that you're writing your freestyles if they're
Exactly.
written
Yeah.
for the most.
It's not
most
hard
part.
to tell.
So why not just have fun with it and do genuine?
Yeah. And people will clown them saying it's bad, but I mean, well, that's, you know, half the great freestyles that you see, fucking, like some of the most classic freestyles are all written, like, and that's,
Yeah,
you know,
like there's a classic clip of Kanye on basically just doing the lyrics to one of the songs, I think "Gorgeous" from My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, on the radio show, just as if it's a freestyle.
Yeah.
But just doing the whole lyrics to the song.
yeah,
And I think it's a great clip because it's like everyone's enjoying the song. Like, what? Like,
yeah, this
this is coming right out of your brain. Like,
yeah.
just their exaggerated enjoyment of it. I
Then
think.
knowing that it's a classic song and no one remembers it for the freestyle, you know.
Yeah, but it's like, why not just provide that free? Like,
Yeah.
who cares really at the end of
And
the day?
especially because a lot of these rappers are doing these freestyles on a press run, and if they kind of, at this point, they probably don't have much fucking just finished an album. They don't have much creative juices left to just go off the dome. I'm here to promote the album. Let me just spit some bars off of the album. Like,
yeah, it makes
total
total.
sense to me.
It's kind of like how on a late night talk show, like those little jokes and stories about their lives. Those are pre-rehearsed. Like they put time and effort into like
Yeah.
It's not. But yeah, it's
The industry's fake, is what we're trying to say.
your dreams are not real, kids. Okay, rap music is fake. Okay, do we have any more thoughts on the 2020 freestyle before this train comes and
Well, it's already here,
fucks
so
up?
let's just do another train break.
It's because we're out here during fucking peak train hours.
Yeah. This won't be a permanent setup, by the way. We're going to change locations.
Eventually, we are going to destroy the train station.
Well, maybe
brick
not,
by
maybe not
brick.
admit that on air.
If you're listening, Metro Links.
2020, it's going to be weird because I don't think they're going to be ciphers because of COVID. I think it's just going to be freestails.
Yeah,
So the
COVID
cipher is the main, at least for me, that's the main attraction for me, is seeing all these rappers kind of go back and forth. Rappers you wouldn't necessarily see together going back and forth.
Yeah.
But if we don't get that this year, then I don't really care,
Ciphers are really a lost art. Like,
Yeah.
But it's one of those great YouTube rabbit holes that you can go down.
Mhm.
Because they used to do them at the BET Awards.
They still do them. But
Yeah.
we just don't see them, because they don't really put them out on YouTube or whatever. Like JID was on one a few years ago. And
Really?
There's a few, yeah, they still do them, but no one really gives a shit. But I remember the last BET one that really was huge, other than the Eminem one, was the TDE one with like Kendrick and Absol. And
Yeah,
J-Rock
because
and
they had
Q.
like
It was crazy.
ciphers set up for like specific crews where
Yeah.
you got to see the whole, and then they had kind of like one mixed bag cipher of like all the like miscellaneous rappers that like kind of. But I don't quite remember any of the names of any of these rappers,
Yeah, no.
because this was like 5 years ago that I
Yeah.
remember watching this.
There was kind of a lost one that I had found. I'm pretty sure it was BET, of Gambino, Joey Badass, ASAP Rocky, and like kind of two other people that I don't really know.
Yeah,
And
I
it
know.
was kind of like, oh wow,
It's like in
that's-
black and white, the video.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
I think most of them are, but I just remember like damn, that's a completely like forgotten of a thing, and like how kind of just the timeline of rap. It's interesting that happened at that moment, because they all kind of blew up around the same time.
Yeah, for some reason, it's weird to picture Childish Gambino and ASAP Rocky in the same
Yeah.
room.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but
Yeah.
they've never collaborated at all.
Cross paths
creatively.
it seems, at all. Yeah.
But whatever.
What I will say about the XXL Freshman List, back to the 2016 class that we were talking
Yeah.
about with Uzi and 21 Savage and everything, that was the XXL Freshman class that kind of had a real generational divide in it, the first like big generational divide.
Yeah.
Because the one of this year kind of just seems like more of the same 2016, kind of, running the late fumes of this fucking new age trap that we've heard for the past like 4 or 5 years. So like that was like, if you look back at like the 2010 one with J. Cole and everything, then the 2016 one with all these new age guys, that's the first really distinct generational change that you can see, which is crazy. And it's good that the XXL Freshman List is there just for that exact point, just to kind of show the change of rap throughout the years is interesting enough.
Yeah, that's a really interesting theory about kind of just how the changing of the guard happens in hip hop, and yeah, it's a kind of a transition that took place around the mid point of this decade, past decade.
It's usually a very slow kind of movement, but for 2016, it was right there, and it was obvious to everyone that, okay, rap is different. Okay, we have to admit it. It's changing. Like,
yeah, and like, I don't know, because it's interesting to look at the like years where it's sort of the transition where they like 2014 they have Chance the Rapper, Rich Homie Quan, like Vic Mensa,
Lil Durk,
somebody named Lil Bibby.
Little Bibby. I think I've heard of Little Bibby. Maybe.
But like Lil Bibby. Come on with that name. Okay, so there's this thing called hip hop. There's a guy named Lil Baby.
Yeah.
Lil Bibby
And Da Baby.
And Lil Bobby.
Is there a Little Bobby?
No.
Okay, I was gonna say.
But what if Bobby Orr was a rapper?
He's dead, I think.
Yeah,
so
true.
Your dreams are also dead.
Oh, right.
I'm trying to see. Yeah, Schoolboy, Absol, Travis Scott. That was a big one, 2013 too.
In the 2015 class, you have Fetty Wap and Vince Staples sharing a, and this guy called Rory.
Oh, I know Rory.
Raury.
He's had some good tracks, but he kind of felt he
wasn't he
he's
considered
talented,
to be
but-
a industry plant by everybody?
Was he? I don't know much about him, but all I know is that he does actually have talent, but he just kind of got got fucked off from the industry.
You know,
If he was an industry plant, you figured he'd have more success, right?
yeah. I can't really quite remember this fucking guy now that now that we really start talking about
He has
it.
one feature with Big Crit that I really like. That's like the one
Okay.
thing I know him with, or that I like.
Well,
still
yeah, I guess
associate him
we
with.
can't hate on every single rapper that we barely know.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is a podcast, so it's
Yeah.
all about uninformed.
Yeah. So I
Rambling.
guess in like 2013, 14, 15, you kind of got to see a few rappers that were going to pave the way, like Travis Scott or something like that were going to pave the way for this new age generation. But 2016 was a definite change that you could see.
Yeah, because there wasn't like the one kind of more old school rapper that they throw in.
Denzel to an extent, but even then he has a new age style to him. Like he can go off some boom bap shit too, but he is still next generation. While previous years have had JID and YB and Cordae, the obvious kind of more lyrical flow people. This year, I don't think has one, unless it's Cowboy or something. That's one that I don't fucking know.
It's
like,
yeah, this one is more just based off talent, and I don't know. Some of these rappers kind of like I looked up Chica,
yeah,
and she kind of blew up by doing like a freestyle about Kanye and how he's like bad now because he wore the Trump hat and shit.
I think YBN kind of did that first about J. Cole.
There's a whole cottage industry of
Cottage industry. Is that
a cottage industry is like a mini thing that people like will get rich off of doing some kind of freestyle that articulates like everyone's bad feelings about whatever celebrity everyone's getting mad about, and managed to kind of build a career off it. But I'm not saying that she's undeserving of. I mean, probably a good rapper, but that's just what I read.
No, yeah,
Fivio Foreign.
He's one of those.
I think he'll probably. I don't know. He seems like he's pretty set up with like the New York scene of
New York drill shit. He got a Drake
rappers.
feature. I think he'll be okay for now.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see which ones.
I think he got shot recently, which then adds to his clout. So
I don't see 24K Golden.
I don't know who that is.
I don't like that. That seems fake to me. Baby Keem.
If they had a cipher, I would watch it, but I don't know if I'm gonna watch all these individual freestyles that might not even show their potential and might just make me turn off on some of these rappers. Like, I guess I'll just search up like some of their songs or whatever. But this isn't necessarily the best showcase. I think just these freestyles.
Overall, kind of an selection.
Yeah, I think Guapdad 4000 should have made it for sure.
Was he not on a list in the before? Well, I guess not.
I guess Rich Brian could have probably made it, but I think his time was like 2018, 19. I think it's a little late for him.
Yeah, I mean it is a very random selection of rappers, but like you don't see a lot of like names that don't make it on here that actually end up being in the industry for.
Yeah.
But
do you think there was a specific rapper that you think got left off? That you think should have made it?
That's the thing, is I'm not as much up on the new rappers. I find that I kind of was into like trying out a lot of new stuff when I first got into rap about 10 years ago, and then kind of I felt like I had my guys, and I was like, okay, well I'll just listen to the new albums of all my guys that I already like.
Your guys. This is like the fucking...
The guys.
I like
Mark
my Maron What the Fuck podcast or whatever. Yeah. Who are your guys?
So who are your guys? Schoolboy Q and ASAP Rocky and fucking whatever. Kanye West.
Yeah, I try to... I like to get into like at least like one or two like kind of new artists a year. Or like try to like give an album a shot.
Yeah,
you
new
know?
music still makes it in over
Yeah.
time, but it's usually through the like recommendations from other friends and
or
just
through features like.
and just stuff just like popping
Yeah.
off and you just see it.
'Cause,
you know.
yeah, I got into Guapdad just because he was all over the Dreamville project last year, and I'm like, oh, he sounds pretty cool, and I like his energy, so I gave his project a shot, and it was pretty good too. So that's how I got into him.
Yeah.
But some other artists like, it's different to actually like get into them. Like, I don't just sit down. I used to just sit down and just watch rap music videos all night of a bunch of different rappers when I first got into it to try to figure out who I liked and what style I liked. But I don't do that anymore. It's not that. There's just so much rap out there too. Like, it's not that easy.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you first discover music in high school, and then you're like, okay, well, this is my new identity now. I have to listen to every single Biggie album and every Nas album and Jay-Z and everything else, so I can know everything that there is to know about. But yeah, eventually you run out of steam with that, and you with like going into the canon of great hip hop, so that you become a well-rounded hip hop fan that knows some of the classics and shit like that.
You're gonna have to make a change though at some point if you're really into rap, like with the Logics and the J. Cole's like potentially retiring. Like, this kind of generation that I fucked with the most, or that I got into early on, if they start retiring or slowing down, then I'm kind of forced to start to find new shit. Not forced to, because I like discovering new artists, but it kind of pushes my hand in a way.
Yeah, I mean, it's the age-old discussion of youth culture, and that you eventually age out of it, and then you're a 26-year-old guy who's still saying dead ass.
Oh no!
Yo, dead ass fam, like
you're painting my future.
Ding, ding, like, and at some point, you might age out of it. It is just, I don't know. I don't know if I'm just an old guy or if it literally is harder to keep up with these new rappers.
It's a tale as old as time, right? Oh, sorry. It's a tale as old as time, right? It's like, that's why how you get like classic rock and blues dads and stuff like that. Like, it's because people just like know what they like and they stick with it, and they don't really want to branch off or anything. And there's nothing really wrong with that. It's just like you're getting kind of close-minded, I feel like, if you're like shutting off everything else.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, I'm gonna be one of those 2010 dad rap guys.
I know, that'll be interesting. Yeah, if the way that there's classic rock stations now, that in
Classic
the future
rap.
there's a
But
station that
Biggie
only
shit,
plays
but
rap from 2010.
Yeah, Kendrick, J. Cole.
Only from that
Travis.
era of music.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
And I'll be like playing it up, turning it up in the car, like, "Hey kids, you
So
guys
heard of the song "Sicko Mode"?
Yeah, no, Sicko Mode that belongs to the younger generation, I think.
Well, doesn't that belong to Sci-Hi the Prince, technically?
Okay.
You want to get into that?
Ding,
That was a
ding.
pretty good transition for me, I
Transition.
think. That's 1 point transitions for me.
Because this was an idea for a segment that I had when I was reading through the past about these XXL features, because there's a guy named Sci-Hi the Prince.
Ever heard of him?
He's on the 2011 freshman list, and he's been long close associate of Kanye West, working with for the Good Music label.
He is part of Good Music, I'm pretty sure, like, technically speaking, too. I think he's, like, signed, right?
Yeah, but as far as his independent music goes, it's kind of spotty.
Yeah.
Like, he'll put out, like...
Or doesn't do the numbers.
He'll put out, like, mixtapes that aren't as well... that I guess there's a small fan base for, but they aren't well publicized.
Yeah.
And then a major album every, like, maybe, like, once in a decade, he'll put out, like, an actual album.
Sure.
But other than that, like, it's... For me, he's an interesting example of the rapper turned ghostwriter turned... Because it's sort of like you're become a behind-the-scenes music industry person where no one quite... gives them the respect they deserve, but really they have a hand in so much of what we love.
And they're responsible for some of the biggest fucking songs in the past fucking, like, decade or two, like...
So Sci-Hi's been writing a lot of the songs on the recent Kanye albums.
He wrote a few off Ye, I know. I think most of Ye was ghostwritten, though, and a lot of Kanye...
and Life of Pablo as well.
The one that really irked me was the... Was it Violent Crimes or whatever? The one that was very much specific about Kanye being a father to a daughter, I think. Like, or one of those, or All Me or something like that.
Yeah, no, I think you had it the right the first
Crimes?
time. Violent Crimes was...
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, it's a very good personal Kanye track. And I heard Sci-Hi wrote it. I'm like, this kind of doesn't ruin the song for me, but it kind of makes me think about it in a different way, or doesn't make me feel.
But yeah, what were you just saying again?
About Violent Crimes. It made me not appreciate the song as much.
Which I find is interesting how, learning about the ghostwriting of a song. I mean, this was what the whole basis for the Drake Pusha T beef from a couple of years ago. It all kind of came out of jokes
Wasn't
about
that Meek Mill? Drake and Meek Mill?
Well, the Pusha T beef evolved out of the Meek Mill beef.
Yeah, right.
Which the basis for was people being upset about Drake claiming to be the greatest of all time,
but
despite having a lot of shit ghostwritten for him.
I don't know if the Pusha T... I don't want to get too sidetracked here. I don't know if the Pusha T beef stemmed off that. I think there was something more, like Pusha T had a beef with like Birdman or Lil Wayne or something, which then stemmed to... I don't know if it was off of the Meek Mill. It was after, for the most part, like the actual, like the majority of it and the actual shit that we saw in terms of the diss tracks between the two. But I don't think it stemmed necessarily from the Meek part. But the ghostwriting thing is definitely... Push has said that multiple times.
The point being that it's still quite a controversial issue. What do you think of the position of, ghostwriting? Really, it doesn't matter because, like we were saying earlier, the entertainment industry is fake and it's full of lies.
Yeah.
It's full of, and it doesn't matter if like every part of the performance and the artist that you so-called love is all, it's all written by some other guy,
Literally, like, probably 90% of rap songs have other people have their hands in it, either whether it be producers in the studio saying, oh, maybe change this line up or something as small as that, or complete verses that are written for, or hooks or something that are outsourced or something like that. Like, a lot of rap is not original, unfortunately. Does that completely ruin it? No, because I still love rap, so that would be hypocritical of me to say.
It's kind of like... It's a basic fact of reality that if you, I guess, you could be in complete denial about it. But really, it's, I don't know. I think more of it's a discussion about how, being like, just being a passive consumer of music versus being a stan whose life is all dedicated to defending every action and everything that your favorite artist did or said.
Yeah, and I was gonna say real quick, I forgot, so let me pass it back to Josh while I think about it.
Yeah, I was gonna say just a quick thing on the difference between contribution and just straight up, ghostwriting and stuff like that, because there's like a big difference, for me at least, between having somebody ghostwrite something for you and like saying, oh, maybe like switch this up and like offer something else, because I think that there's different degrees
100%.
of that sort of thing, and because it's just collaboration. Like every artist throughout history, through all mediums, has worked with somebody who has gotten like a second opinion throughout at some point. So
there's always the behind the scenes people who really made it, like, who aren't gonna get quite their recognition, like.
It is, that's the thing about it, just specifically ghostwriting tend to be more shunned upon than just general collaboration.
It's a specific thing in hip hop because of how much of it's based on ego and bravado and owning
originality and shit. Yeah,
originality.
Yeah, because you think it's coming from the heart.
Yeah, my kind of opinion of it is like, you can be a ghostwriter and like an artist to your own degree, and you can be like really successful as a ghostwriter, but I think they deserve more recognition for it. Like, it should be more known, other than just finding out Sicko Mode, a song 3 years old or 2 years old, was written by Sci-Hi the Prince instead of Travis Scott. Like, we should have known that right away. Like, that shouldn't have been a hidden thing. He deserves his flowers for writing one of the biggest fucking songs of the past fucking 10 years.
And really, the reason that that this topic is topical is because recently, like, it was when I googled Sci-Hi the Prince ghostwriter, one of the top stories from a couple days ago was about someone reporting about Russ, your favorite rapper, Russ.
What did he do?
Tweeting something to the effect of, oh, a lot of your favorite rappers really aren't who they are.
I thought you were gonna say Russ like co-wrote fucking some Kanye shit or
Oh,
something.
yeah, no.
I would have been fucking so scared. Man.
Russ wrote because the internet.
Dude, I would just drive straight into this person's house if that was the case.
But it's just, I don't know. It comes off as a weird statement to me because, yeah, is it a kind of a what's it called when you fucking throw shade or whatever? It's a subtle. It's a subtle.
Slight.
It's a subtle subliminal.
Yeah.
At Travis Scott, because really a lot of this has to do with Astroworld, not just Sicko Mode, but a couple more of the songs on that, including his verse on Coffee Bean,
which was one of the more personal tracks on there too. So I was also disappointed to find out that was ghostwritten. That was one of his more introspective tracks. So I'm like,
and
shit.
Some of them, it came out that I read that it's not just a contribution, but legitimately wrote the whole thing, including the flows and everything.
Yep.
But the other aspect of that is that it shouldn't detract from someone's talent as a performer, a vocalist,
100%.
everything else if they're not writing their shit. I mean,
it should be at least acknowledged that they didn't write it or someone else wrote it, is my opinion about it. And there are some rappers like Kendrick Lamar that don't ghostwrite. Like there's some rappers that 100% like just because they've come out and said have dissed ghostwriters or had subliminal shots at Drake or whoever because of the ghostwriting accusation.
Yeah, there's
so
the anti-ghostwriting community
it seems
of
like
rappers.
those people who are rapping about that and sending these subliminal disses are anti-ghostwriting, and that would mean that they write their own original shit. Is that true all of the time? I don't know. Has Kendrick wrote every single song that he's performed? I don't know. Like, that's the thing. But we should know. I think we deserve to know at the same time.
But yeah, it's kind of like if you wanna take that up as your cross to bear, that about originality.
Yeah.
Then all the more onus is on you to prove that everything you ever did was you and not
exactly.
And I feel like that's why a lot of rappers stay silent about this type of stuff, or they don't contribute to the whole argument about it, because they know that it might come back to haunt them if it turns out
that they didn't write their own shit. Yeah.
This thing can be tied into sampling as well. It's like, what, you didn't play that chord or yourself, like on the guitar or on the piano yourself? Well, then that's like, it could be the same as ghostwriting, really. It's like, you didn't do it yourself 100%. Well, then you're not authentic or whatever. It's like, well, no, it's just like taking something and doing something
it's
new
more
with it.
Fundamental with that, because
sampling is more
notes.
in the culture, and like it's more people recognize, or people are like get recognized for sampling. Like they have to say that something was sampled. They can't claim it's their own, or else you can't put it up on Spotify or whatever. You can't fucking make money off of it.
Yeah, that's a whole part of the industry.
So,
clearing the sample.
Yeah, exactly. So that's way more of a like spoken part of rap. That's way more of just a integral part of rap, more so than ghostwriting is. It's more of a more shunned upon type of art. But there is an art to it. There's some people like I guess Sci-Hi and Party Next Door also like wrote like a bunch of Beyonce hits and like crazy hits. Like he's written bigger hits than he has for his own music type of thing.
Yeah, I mean you can go into a whole crazy history of like all the great, but I can't think of it. Right when I started saying that, I lost whatever my specific example I had.
Yeah, Rihanna's biggest.
It was like
hits or
CeeLo
whatever.
Green wrote like. Pusha T wrote the McDonald's.
Wrote the I'm Loving It.
Which I don't get.
I don't know if it was necessarily Pusha T. It was Clips.
Was that just a clickbait? Or?
No, it was real. Clips wrote like the song. There was like an original McDonald's song where Clips. I don't know if it was Pusha T or
How old is
the other guy from Clips?
From Clips.
How old is that song?
I don't know.
That jingle, rather.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it.
Late 90s.
It's gotta go to at least the early 2000s era.
Yeah.
Because I remember there was a Justin Timberlake thing where there was a commercial where he was doing the ba-da-ba-ba.
Yeah. No, but Pusha T got very small bag. I think only like 300,000 for doing that McDonald's fucking
Wow.
jingle, and he should have fucking gotten way more. But that was way early in their career, so. But yeah, I think that's most of what I wanted to get off there.
Yeah, and just a general fuck Russ out there. Just
Okay, good. All right, so we're not fuck Russ, or we're not fucking Nav anymore, but we're fuck Russ. Replace Nav with Russ. I'm okay with that.
Like as far as I know, like Nav's probably a great guy. Probably calls his mom.
Train break. Sorry, we have to interrupt you completely.
No, the beef with Nav is over. Damn it.
Real quick before we get into like brand new music, I do want to kind of maybe discuss maybe a little bit. Lil Wayne has announced, not like officially, but like he was on like some sports thing as he sometimes is, and he has said that the Carter 6 and No Ceilings 3 are on the way.
Yeah.
I have kind of mixed feelings because he was said that Carter 5 was supposed to be his last part in the part of the Carter series. I think it's a fantastic ending to the Carter series. If he doesn't deliver on the Carter 6, it might kind of ruin the Carter legacy.
Wow.
To be fair, he has delivered on pretty much all the Carters, but I kind of expected the Carter 5 to be the last one. No Ceilings 3, I'm not completely mad at, because No Ceilings is probably my favorite Lil Wayne mixtape, even though No Ceilings 2 was kind of trash aside from a few songs. So hopefully No Ceilings 3 will be a little bit better than that.
Wow.
Yeah, Lil Wayne is not stopping anytime soon, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and so you're a huge Lil Wayne. Like we're both
Big Lil Wayne fan.
We're both big Lil Wayne fans, but
Yeah.
you are more. I've
dived deeper.
Listened to the Carters going back.
Yeah, I haven't listened to the first two, but I listened to 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, and I'm vaguely familiar with.
I know the hits off of the first two.
With his music since like 2012 ish or so.
Yeah.
Like so that's like. He had an album called "I Am Not a Human Being."
Yeah, 1 and 2.
Which I think that was around the time that I started to listen to Lil Wayne albums.
Which was kind of the weird time because that's when kind of the majority of people are like, oh, Wayne is kind of trash now. In like 2011, like people said his run was like 2007 to like 10 or whatever, where he was just on top of shit.
Well, yeah, it was 6 foot, 7 foot was I think his probably biggest.
That was Carter 4, yeah. Which was around that.
That was his real moment between like, I think Lollipop is the biggest song he ever put out.
Yeah.
And that's the one that crossed over into the pop world, and for a while he was a one of the A-list celebrities, I think.
Oh yeah.
He went to jail for a short period. Yeah, but then I feel like the eyes of the world kind of the eyes of hip hop stayed on Lil Wayne, but he became less of a mainstream celebrity in the last 6 or 7 years or so.
Yeah, but he's still one of the greatest rappers to ever do it, and you can't really argue that because he's still putting out quality music. Fucking Funeral.
The Carter 5 was great.
Carter 5 was fantastic.
I mean,
fucking Dedication 6, parts 1 and 2 were both great. Like he's still
and
got
just the work ethic. I mean, like just all the albums we're mentioning are all like 6th and 7th and like 9th.
Yeah, it's insane.
Like
he's had so many running series,
and it's like he seems to not age or get affected by anything by his lifestyle at all.
But he's
basically the Keith Richards of
totally.
But he can still rap with like the Little Uzi verse. He can still have features with the new age and not feel out of place either. He can rap with like pretty much anyone.
That's why he defies all the laws that are supposed to apply to.
Yeah.
But that's part of it because he started the whole wave of having face tattoos.
Yeah.
Drinking lean and
using
doing all the
crazy like that. Yeah, no, he's one of the biggest influencers. He
started
Drake,
it all,
Young
and then a young generation came up that was imitating him that he still fits in with, because part of it's because like he's just like pretty short guy, and he seems like, I don't know, he just somehow defies the usual laws that would apply to.
Because he's only people don't forget that he's only like 36. Because he started rapping when he was like 13 or whatever, like putting out albums when he was like 13. So he's like not, like Gambino's only like 2 years younger than Lil Wayne, which always is like fucking crazy to me.
Like Joe Budden was like a popular rapper at the time when Lil Wayne was just starting to pop off in the early 2000s. Now Joe Budden's made the full transition to being a broadcaster and quit music.
And Lil Wayne's still going.
Yeah, Lil Wayne's still going. and it's just like, it's one of those things.
Yep. Other new projects that have been confirmed that are coming out but are not releasing like anytime soon. 2 Chainz album's coming September 25th.
Looking forward to it.
It's called So Help Me God, which was one of the placeholder titles for The Life of Pablo. Is that right?
Yes, man, that's an interesting. There was like a few different titles to that album before
Waves
it came out.
Or whatever.
Waves.
Yeah. 3-pointer or something.
Something
like,
about Swish.
Swish, because I remember I kept saying Swish, the Kanye album, like 3 years after that was a thing.
Before we even had the podcast.
Yeah. New Rich Brian EP is coming out the end of the month, and Travis Scott has confirmed a new album called Utopia, which sounds like a Travis Scott album.
Oh, dude.
And
I'm excited about it.
A new Travis Scott / Kid Cudi collab album, which could be interesting. So look forward to that, everyone. Should we get into just the new music, all the shit from last week and this week?
Yeah, might as well.
All right. Some guy driving by.
Yeah.
I did listen to the new Earth Gang song. That one, along with the Anderson .Paak and Rick Ross song, are part of the Madden soundtrack.
Yeah.
So, and even before I knew that, like, the Earth Gang song wasn't up there with their best. Not a bad song by any means, but I can kind of tell it had this kind of lesser quality to it. They didn't put as much time into it. And I found out for a soundtrack, I'm like, okay, that's acceptable.
Yeah, I kind of had the similar. I didn't listen to the Earth Gang one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a kind of a weird subgenre of music, where like inspirational kind of music that's about like sports and like. The point is, I don't really fuck with inspirational sports music that's written for like to rev you up for a football game, where it's all like lyrics about how I'm the best in the game and I'm working so hard.
Like the Fast and Furious soundtrack where it's talking about just driving cars the whole time or whatever. It's not like, you can tell it
just
like
doesn't do anything for me. Like I guess it's like, for me, it's for someone who's at the gym.
Yeah.
And and I'm fat, so.
Yeah, that being said, the Black Panther soundtrack and the Into the Spider-Verse soundtrack were both good and kind of different soundtracks. Like, they weren't just
Black Panther soundtrack is great.
Yeah.
But that's because it doesn't go that same direction.
Yeah.
Well, it tries to get on the themes of like superhero kind of stuff, but in a way that actually works.
Yeah. There's way more to it than just referencing shit from the movie.
And it's a star-studded album.
Yeah.
It's got The Weeknd on it.
Yeah.
Plenty of other people.
You listen to the Anderson .Paak Rick Ross song? Because that one still sounds like a Anderson .Paak banger. That's just, Anderson .Paak can't make a fucking bad song, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I listened to it, and that I had that thought about sports music, and I also thought, Rick Ross, he's pretty fucking good still.
Yeah.
It's weird because, like, going back to Rick Ross, like, his first big hit was Every Day I'm Hustling, Every Day I'm Hustling. Like, that was so long ago.
I know next to nothing about Rick Ross, by the way, so.
Okay,
but keep going.
Just the point being that he's always surprised me as a rapper who I thought would be, like, his lyrics, I thought they would just be boring and kind of shitty. But he's always been, I don't know, he proves himself, despite being sort of a strange rapper, like, he's like a fat guy from Florida or something. Everyone was saying, like, that he used to work at a Walmart before he was a rapper, and everything he says is just like he's a complete liar about everything. Yeah. But you listen to the music and you couldn't tell. Couldn't tell.
That's the thing. That's getting back to the whole kind of ghostwriting thing about being original. Like, some of these rappers as well, like the whole YBN crew. Rest in peace, I guess, because that YBN crew is like disbanded pretty much. But
pour one out.
But they're talking about all the gang shit they did, but they literally were founded because they used to play GTA 5 together. Yeah. So it's funny just thinking about them talking about doing drive-bys, but in GTA, which is fucking hilarious to me.
Yeah, that's the most millennial shit.
Anderson .Paak Rick Ross track was good. Not like Anderson .Paak's best work of all time, but still an enjoyable track.
I was pleasantly surprised that it was how good it was.
This Drake song, you touched on it a little bit last week. It's called Laugh Now, Cry Later, or Cry Now, Laugh. I don't know, whatever it's called.
Laugh Now, Cry Later.
You thought it was like, you said it was like what, like it's kind of a Drake song, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, there's a part where he goes, "Baby," and looks at the camera.
Yeah.
That's really the only thing I remember.
Well, there's a theory behind that actually, why he kept saying "baby" in that video and that song a lot.
Illuminati. He's trying to fuck kids.
He's trying to fucking get the search term, so when you search up Drake "baby" instead of the whole Pusha T fucking shit, his new song will show up instead. Which
What is this
crazy
theory? What is this theory?
Instead of, if you search up Drake "baby" right now, the first thing comes up is the whole fucking Pusha T fucking beef that happened. But I think he's trying to get it so where fucking, if you search up Drake "baby," this song and the Genius will show up because he says "baby" all throughout it. Just a theory, but if it manages to work, in 3 months from now you search up Drake "baby" and this song comes up,
I feel like
crazy.
I feel like if you Google Drake "baby," you'll see pictures of Drake's baby.
Oh no, right now, yeah, for sure. But when this album comes out or whatever, who knows? You know, maybe it was an slight attempt to.
Yeah, that sounds like just some social media retardation.
I don't know. It's a take that I have made. Another take is that I do like the song a bunch. I really like the song. It's not a headlines, and it's not like a nice for what. It's not like a huge fucking Drake track that gets me excited for the album, but it's a good Drake track.
No, yeah, it's solid. I mean, it's.
Yeah.
I just thought it was kind of forgettable.
Yeah, but a good Drake track is to me lesser than some just other people's music. Like, I have Drake in a weird pedestal just because I don't really like his music that much, but if it's a solid track, then I'm like, okay, you know what? At least it's a solid track.
Yeah,
I enjoy it. It's catchy. Not the most memorable in the world, but it's catchy. I'll listen to it. It'll get stuck in my head. I'm okay with that. That's
we
okay
here
for me.
at the Rapcast are, we're a 6-based podcast. We have to talk about Drake. We have to have opinions about Drake.
But neither of us are like the hugest Drake fans in the world. So.
And at times I've been a hater.
Yeah, for sure. Me too.
But we both have that.
I still think Views is
We both
trash.
have that bone in our body that says. A bone in our body that says. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
No, retake that one.
We both have the inclination to say. To be fair to Drake when we hear a song that actually we do like.
Yeah.
I mean, the album, if you're reading this, it's too late.
Yeah.
Is the only real shit that I
I
gave it the full time.
Yeah, that's my
of day,
favorite.
And I really enjoyed it.
That's
So
my favorite Drake project.
I can't really hate, but on the just casually, I still put Drake hatred out there just because.
Yeah.
Everyone in Canada in the GTA is so fucking annoying about Drake.
Yeah, man.
Everybody.
Yep.
And
all the people in high school I went to fucking just insane. Like Drake is like the best of all time.
And
like,
just too much Drake.
Outlandish shit.
You know,
too much Drake gets played in our end.
2C Slide is not a song I had to learn. I didn't have to hear that song so much.
That song.
Part of it is also because, and I don't want to dox us for being Canadian.
Even though we've already said
we've revealed the country of our origin. Yeah. So send your goons over to Canada.
Yeah. Fuck us up.
The laws about broadcasting where Canadian music gets, because the fucking stations have to play a certain amount of it.
Yeah.
So then when Drake became popular, the Canadian stations loved it because before that they had to have like some token Canadian music like Headley or
Headley.
Fucking man. Celine Dion or whoever turned out to, or Justin Bieber, really. That was the original one that really got shoved down our throats so much.
Yep.
Like 10 years ago, Justin Bieber.
But now it's
Justin
like
Bieber.
Drake, Weeknd, Tory Lanez, Nav.
Yeah. But you know what? Canadian music is rap music, hip-hop-ish. It's not that bad, okay?
But it's also not that good.
No. It's America is better. In most regards.
So that's all I kind of want to talk about of last week's music. Music that's coming out this week or has come out in the past few days. There's going to be a new Nas album this Friday.
Yeah, Nas.
A few notable features, Big Sean, Anderson .Paak, a few other people that I can't remember off the top of my head.
Foxy Brown.
But a song of his dropped last week, a single off of it. I didn't listen to it. I'm not like the biggest... I'm a late bloomer,
we'll get into the full Nas review, I think, next week.
Okay. Do I have to listen to it?
Well, yeah.
Come on.
Well,
My first Nas album is gonna be in 2020.
I'll give it the first try, and if I say it's worth,
Okay. I'll listen to the songs that have the features that I'm gonna enjoy. That's what I'll do.
wow, the disrespect.
Because can my first Nas album not be like Illmatic? It has to be Illmatic, right? Like, because I've never heard a Nas album.
Yeah, losing your Nas virginity.
And to this album, yeah, I don't know about that.
I don't know, man. Yeah, maybe. Whatever.
I'll listen to a few songs.
Fuck it. We'll figure it out.
I've heard rumblings of a Young Thug mixtape coming out this Friday, but I also, or maybe like this weekend or something. I also don't know how true that is.
Whatever. It's Young Thug.
Rich Brian's song that came out the other day called "Don't Care" off his new EP that's gonna drop.
I listened to that.
To me, it sounds just like a Drake song.
I didn't really like it.
Yeah, I like Rich Brian for the most part, but like the chorus, like I don't care. I'm just like, I don't care.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's my thought I had.
The verses were okay. The chorus kind of annoyed me. Just kind of overall sounded like a Drake, kind of like a Drake fucking reference track to me.
Yeah, not the biggest Rich Brian fan, but I also haven't given his albums the time of day. So
I only really started listening to him for his last album last year, The Sailor, which was, I really liked it originally. I'm like, this is a fantastic album. I love it. I kind of have lost the replayability for me in the past like few months. I only go back to like a handful of songs other than the whole album. But I still have faith. He still can make good tracks, so I'm here for him. And also a new Amine song dropped right after his album dropped. It's called Hello. Have either of you heard it?
Yeah,
it's like a short one.
I have, yeah.
I haven't. We'll get Josh's opinions on this.
I can see. I don't know if this is for a deluxe or anything, but I can see why it was left off Limbo. Yep. Doesn't really fit. It's short. I don't really honestly see myself going back to it that much. The hook to me is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
The verses are just okay.
Yeah, I thought the flow and the verses were pretty good.
Yeah.
But you're right. The hook gets pretty annoying.
So yeah, I don't know if I'm going back to this one at all. But
yeah,
he put out so much good music on his last album. I don't feel like
absolutely. I didn't even get half of all the good things I wanted to say about that album off when we reviewed it last time. But yeah, it's a Lucy, and it makes sense why.
Yeah.
I would say give it a listen simply because it's like 2 minutes. Like
it's not a hard listen to. Like it's fucking less than 2 minutes long.
Yeah,
so,
it's so like give it a shot. If you like the album, you might fuck with it. But I wouldn't buy it.
I don't know if I'm going back to it anytime soon. But last but not least, a new Travis Scott song is coming this week.
It's lit.
Is it written by Sci-Hi? We don't know, but it's gonna be off another soundtrack song off the movie Tenet, the Christopher Nolan film.
What?
Apparently, as well, like Christopher Nolan said.
Christopher Nolan x Travis Scott.
Christopher Nolan
collab.
said that this Travis Scott song was the last piece to the puzzle for this movie. I'm like, okay, the movie's gonna be trash then,
Dude,
right? Like, what
so
the fuck?
Fucking stupid to me.
Like, it's gonna be like the biggest fucking pinnacle moment of the whole movie. You're just gonna hear "It's lit" in the background. I'm like, what? Like, that doesn't make any sense. So, I mean, I'm gonna listen to the song, but I don't know what the fuck to expect, honestly. The movie's coming out in August. It's coming out in theaters, so it's happening.
It's like, because you know how the Christopher Nolan movies, they all had like the Hans Zimmer soundtrack of the fucking big.
Yeah, no,
it's gonna be La Flame.
Yeah. Yep.
You know?
So I'm really curious to see what this is gonna be. It could be fucking epic and magnificent and awesome.
Yeah.
It could be a complete fucking just L. So I mean, it's not an L for Travis because he's gonna get fucking he's gonna make a bag off it, obviously. But
in a way, it kind of makes sense when you think about how like the Sicko Mode video and other videos from the Astro World thing were so cinematic and like extremely high production value and shit like that. So Travis does have an eye for like really like executive producing like a really, you know,
I'm not
high level artistic.
If there were to be any rapper, it would be like Travis or maybe Kanye. You know, someone like that.
But it just there's something about it that seems like such a weird combination, but it could work.
Yeah.
It might It's just crazy
I guess
enough.
we'll have to wait and see for next week, everyone. Little bit of house cleaning here. Our close friend
Oh yeah, big
and
announcement.
Fanny Pack affiliate, which is like, this is SuperFinger here. The three of us are SuperFinger, but then I also have another group called Fanny Pack, which is my other friends that they're also kind of in tertiary. They're not like but anyway.
Wow,
It's a
thanks.
complicated tapestry of gangs.
IMA dropped a new track called Schizomorph. Production's crazy. Flow is crazy.
Yeah.
It's fire. It's short. It's sweet. Listen to it. Link will be down below. I don't have it on my phone. I don't have any data, so I can't like play it or anything. But
No, me neither. It's on SoundCloud.
Yep.
And
Go
it's
listen
hard
to
as
it.
fuck. And yeah, it's like kind of on some like depressed slash
Sorry for the noises, everyone.
psychedelic slash depressed kind of vibe to the
Yeah.
to his lyricism.
Getting very weird in here. Yeah. We've been sitting on this song for so fucking long. I really just want to get it out there. So hopefully by the time you're hearing this song is out right now. It is called Rock and Roll Baby.
Rock and roll, baby.
Just put the windows up. Just make sure like better acoustics and shit.
By Fanny Pack. It includes myself, Diaper Boy, Little Deeg / Little Cuck, and Two Logs. Link below for that. We're just going to do a little test listen here for everyone.
This is my mind on drugs, hoping my mind don't bug. I'm smoking up a fatty, now I need some grub. I'm smoking up a doobie, I'm
Higher than a Boeing.
So high that I feel holy, my mind been working slowly.
Also, the car radio quality isn't going to be the best because I have it through a little transmitter here, so.
Always thinking about some bitches.
Fuck it.
Sweet like honey, I'm a rapper like
Some candy.
I wonder what bleach
Each tastes like.
Is it good?
What? Who else?
myself out while I'm beating down my wood. Can I go again? I don't really think that I should. 7 times a day, I didn't really think I could. Where them niggers come from? They blacker than shit. I be the nigger in the ground. This is come with the grit. You better recognize this black skin.
Speaking in the perspective of a cop, of a racist cop, by the way. Fuck 12.
Seinfeld.
Who else?
Shut your mouth or suck me off. Call me Sean Evans.
Only time you fuck is your 72 virgins in heaven.
Woo!
Even the ghosts are ruin the track. This shit's dire. Like X, even though I'm dead, I'm still releasing fire. Psych VA, the
You're a prostitute for hire.
when I'm on the mic, more gunfire than a middle school choir. Thought I peaked, but I'm still getting higher. So many boys.
Kissing my pussy, call me Lizzie McGuire.
I said I
Shout out Hillary Duff.
expired on the list of 2 on sins. You can now add liar. Rock and roll, baby. Rock and roll, baby. Yeah, we coming in hot. Rock and roll, baby. Skibbity scoop bop, boobity boop bop. Rock and roll, baby. Get your guitars. Yeah.
Diaper Boy.
Get your bras swinging in the air tonight. Yeah. Rock and roll, baby. 자르줄 바자 욕하는 세계를 제만주 저리로 비켜 심장에 바꿔 지나는 세계가 너무나 많아서 이런 병신을 불러서 나에게 다 be just like Jesus 집에서 놀다가 욕먹게
Korean rap, let's go. Who else?
Straight out of Seoul, bitch.
You don't know me, gonna leave my consider Panther Slater over there. You don't think you're fucking staying here, right?
Fucking idiot.
Rock and roll, baby. Rock and roll, baby.
Yeah. Fucking revolutionary
There you
shit
go,
there.
everyone.
Mixing languages.
That's out now on our YouTube page. So just click on our channel fucking page and
Yeah.
it'll be there. It's on our SoundCloud as well.
And it's on the Billboard Hot 100 list.
You better fucking believe
Number
it.
1
Yep.
worldwide.
For a song that we
Taking
can't make
over.
any money off of. So
Hey, never say never.
that's what it is. Thanks for watching. I guess.
Goodbye.